All right, so I want to show you an important concept regarding getting data back from the database. So in the previous video, I showed you how to query a database and get something back, but all we did was just print out one record, and that's really not the point of getting stuff back from a database. For example, if we queried this patients table, we might come back with, I don't know, 30 patients or something like that. So in this video, I want to show you how to print all those out or loop through all those different patients that come back. So maybe you're querying a table of transactions, and there might be 15 transactions in there. So what we want to do is when we get that back in our PHP page, we want to see all those transactions, possibly print them out or do something with them, and not just see the first one or the last one. So I'm going to show you how to do that with PHP. And the reason I have this code up is because there's really no difference in this code. There's just one or two little differences, which I'm about to show you. So again, what we're trying to do is get a bunch of rows back and see all the data. First thing you want to do, same as before, connection object. So there's no difference between what we did before and this. Declare a connection, set it equal to MySQLi connect, provide those 4 arguments, server, username, password, name of the database. Next line is exactly the same as well. Declare a query object, set it equal to MySQLi query, 2 arguments, the connection, name, and your select statement inside quotes. And you still need to close up your connection, so that line is exactly the same as well. So this line isn't much different, but now we're trying to see all the stuff that comes back. So the way to do that, after we do our query object, we're going to do a while loop. And even if you don't know how while loops work, don't worry about it. What we're going to do is we're going to have keyword while, that's all lowercase. It's going to have parentheses after it, and it's not going to have any semicolon. All right, so we got while, parentheses. And then notice when you have a while loop, you have open and close curly brackets. So we've got our while line here, and then we've got open and close curly brackets, and we'll print the stuff out inside there, and it'll print out all the stuff that we get back from this query instead of just one record. Inside the parentheses, we need to do basically the exact same line of code that we did before. So I'm going to declare a results object. Maybe I'll call it result or RESLT, whatever you want to call it. Set it equal to MySQLi underscore fetch array. Just like we did before, but we're putting it inside a while loop. So we got result equal MySQLi fetch array underscore fetch underscore array. It has its own parentheses, so that might get a little confusing here. These parentheses are for the while loop. These parentheses are for that fetch array function. And if you recall, what goes in there is just the name of that query, whatever you might have called it up there. So I called mine $QRY. So this same line of code we did before is just put inside the parentheses for this while loop. Result, MySQL underscore fetch underscore array, query object. Now when we print this out, it's going to behave a little different, so I just want to talk about that. And typically in the while loop, you want to indent over maybe 4 spaces. So we're going to echo some stuff out, see if we get anything back, same as we did before. So I'll echo out result, square bracket, quotes around the name of your field that you want to see. So I'll do last name maybe. So that's going to go inside the while loop, but otherwise that's pretty much exactly what we did before. But we're going to see that it's not going to look good, so we'll have to do something else. All right, so we got result, which is this thing, square brackets, quotes, and then the name of a field from that table, from that database. So this is what we want. We want to see all the records, but notice this is PHP. We told it to print, so it's just printing one right after the other on the same line. So just like HTML or PHP, we've got to explicitly tell it to break the line. So the way to do that is we could do, after our field name, we could do dot, and then inside quotes just put a HTML BR command, or BR tag. So we got echo. This is the stuff from the database. It's just the concatenation operator, which is just a period. And then inside quotes, before we close up our semicolon, I just have a BR tag. So then it'll print a last name, break the line, print another last name. And in fact, if we want a space between the line, I'll show you how to do that. Right, so here's all the stuff that we got back from that database, which is important. You know, if we said, okay, give me all names starting with J, we want to see all of them. So the way to do that is just to do that while loop in conjunction with this other database connection stuff. If we wanted two spaces, we could just put two BR tags in a row. So if we want a little bit of space between each record on our page, maybe you want to do that, maybe you don't, but if you did, you could put two BR tags there. And if we wanted to print multiple fields, let's just do that real quick. And I'll talk about it after I do it. Let's do another field. Let's do patient number or something. Again, I'll explain all this code in just a second. So I got patient ID, so let's just do that just so we can see another field from the database. See if it works, and then I'll explain it. So the patient IDs might not mean much to us, but we've got two different fields instead of just one field only, so we could have as many fields as we want. So what I've done is I've got echo, then a space, then that result with a field name, so that's going to print out the last names, and then I got that concatenation operator, but I don't want patient ID right up against that, so I've got concatenation, an empty space, then concatenation, another field, so you could add as many fields as you want to this information that you're printing out on your PHP page. And at the end of each line, I've printed the last name, a space, the ID, then break the line so that the next time through, we'll see it on the next line. So that's all there is to it.